Hey everyone, it's Jen. I had a request from Lynn M to show her the process that I use for making a page. So I'm going to show you guys a page that's partially done here in this new Halloween book that I'm using. The first thing I do is gather all my tools. I'll explain that in a different video, but for now, just grab your basics and we will start. Now the first thing I do when I create a book is put my pages in my cover. I like to go ahead and sew my signatures in. You can see here I used some purple thread. I know that a lot of people don't do it this way because then oftentimes your book can get too big, but for me, I really like to have my pages in the book before I do any decorating of them. Just remember, whatever you do, find your own process. Try different things until you figure out what works best for you. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. This is just my process. So you can see I have my signatures sewn in already. Don't have a lot of pages done yet, but I'm going to go ahead and flip to this one, which I did partially do just in the interest of time. We're going to go ahead and ignore the spider page and we're going to look at this page. A lot of the time when I start a page, I am inspired by an image or a piece of ephemera or a background paper or something like that that kind of triggers an idea in my head. In this case, I had this old postcard, this vintage postcard, that had this man and woman in this crazy, silly but creepy vehicle. I liked how the skull here kind of goes with the skulls here. So what I did was I put in a belly band, but I went the opposite direction. So you can see that there's actually, you can put something behind that. I did that instead of a pocket, and this to me was kind of an accident, but it felt like a road when I looked at it, so I could kind of see these guys driving down the road. So I cut out the image, I fussy cut the image of the couple in the car, who I think are going to some hellish or ghoulish party for Halloween, and I think I'm going to go ahead and kind of glue them a little bit crooked down on what I envisioned the road being. I'm using just regular old Eileen's tacky glue. This particular one is the upside down, so it's always ready to go. I really like that. And for me, especially since this is a Halloween book, nothing really needs to be perfect. So I'm just going to kind of estimate where that card is going to go. I prefer to put the glue on the belly band instead of the card itself, because if I get glue too far over an edge, it could stick the whole thing down. This is a little bit easier for me. You can be a lot more exact if you want to. For me, just the guesstimate is enough. And I'm gonna put it down just like that, so there's a tiny space at the top and a much bigger space at the bottom. And if I need to, I can kind of lift that edge and add a little more glue. Put that right down like that. And then I can take another piece of paper just to make sure none of those edges are stuck down. Alright. Now my little couple here, I had another postcard that had this, "You're invited to a spooky party," and I liked that a lot, but I didn't want to leave it just as a postcard, just like I did with these guys, so I fussy cut the little ghost, and I folded this little scrap piece of paper, excuse me, and then I used some decorative scissors. I like these, the kooky edge. These ones are called bat wings, actually. So I cut just the edge off with the bat wings just to give it a little bit of texture. And then the ghost really kind of disappeared into this gray paper. So I took just a black sparkly gel pen and I went around the edge, and it's interesting because it ends up looking a lot more silver than black because of the sparkles, but I really liked the way that it came out, so I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to set our couple's invitation aside for just a second. The next thing I wanted to do is add a little bit more. You can see I used that same black sparkly pen along the edge, and it's totally messy, and that is completely fine with me. The next thing I wanted to do was I had some stamped images. Now, before I start a book, I will go through and actually take some time to pull out all of my stamps that relate to that topic or to that theme, and I will stamp a bunch of images ahead of time. So I had those cats, and then you can see I have a little dog here too, and maybe this is a little gruesome. Hopefully it's funny, more funny than it is gruesome, but I kind of imagine this couple speeding toward their party with unfortunate roadkill in the way. I liked that the little dog was a cute little skeleton and the cat is obviously scared of something. So I wanted to add those guys to my little belly band road here. And to be honest with you, decorating a page for me is really just trying different things. I make sure I have all of my ephemera, all of my images and kits and stickers and whatever else I can possibly find that goes with my theme, and I just have it nearby so I can just kind of keep trying different things until I find what works out for me. And that's literally what I did with this, with these images, was I pulled my little bucket of ephemera out and just started looking through it until I found some stuff that worked for me. And I could definitely keep going on this page probably for hours, but I don't want to bore you guys with that. So now that we have our little dog and our little cat, I think I want to add a little bit more of this pen to make it look like that road. So I'm just going to put some dotted lines there. You can see I didn't use a ruler, I didn't use anything, it's just totally messy. But it does make it look a little bit more like a road. And then I'm going to take my little invitation and I'm going to tuck it behind my belly band. Now I think I want to have the ghost's face kind of sticking out. It does blend in a little bit with the skeletons, but I think it's pretty cute. If you don't like that, you can always just tuck it back behind there, but I do like them kind of peeking out from behind the car. Alright, so that is my page, and like I said, I could keep going all night long and just continuing to add layers and layers, but that is my basic process for how I do a page. If you have any questions, please let me know, leave me a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Otherwise, have a great day. Thanks, guys.